The goal is always the division title. Obviously making the playoffs is great, but it's not really the goal. Our goal is to go 1-0 this week, and then I think the rest will take care of itself from there.
Who's playing the best football right now? You better believe it's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yo, dashing through the
touchdown! He's got it! Touchdown! Bengals!
They've won 6 straight. They're 10-4. You have to give the Bengals the benefit of the doubt. Not only are the Bengals the hottest team in the AFC right now, they're the best.
I don't know if any team is beating the Bengals if the Bengals play like they've been playing.
Looking to throw, he's in trouble. The ball comes out. His throw intercepted.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
'Tis the season of gifting, as the Bengals are giving fans a lot to be thankful and excited for this holiday season. Merry Christmas and welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marissa Contepelli. The Bengals look to extend the win streak from 6 to 7 as the race for the 1 seed is heating up. But before we get to kickoff in Foxborough, we go behind the stripes with one of the core members of the locker room, Uncle Mike. The trio tells us what's on their Christmas wish list, and on Countdown, I'll tell you how the Bengals have one of the top safety tandems in the league. But first, the second half comeback in Tampa was ignited by the defense's efforts and the 4 turnovers forced on Tom Brady. Let's now head down to field level and listen in as we had Vonn Bell mic'd up against the Bucs.
66 degrees and sunny in Tampa, Florida today as we get set for the Bengals and the Buccaneers. Cincinnati now alone in first by a half game.
Woo! I'm mic'd up. Let's go. War paint. Oh! I'm mic'd up now. Watch this. I'm hitting.
The Bengals wearing white jerseys, white pants, and their iconic orange tiger-striped helmet.
He left early. Bro.
Burrow wants to throw. Screens it out to the left, caught by Mixon, charges between the numerals and the sideline, and he's going to pick up 11 yards and a first down.
There you go, Joe. Again. Move him. Let's go.
Play action fake and a throw. It's deflected.
Oh, Lord. Know the situation. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Hey, he cut. You. Oh. Hey, you ready to run the post? Oh. Hey, y'all lock up. I told you. Hey, listen to me, Frank. Hey, watch the ball. Hey. You're gonna miss it next time. You're gonna miss it next time. You missed it. Hit his ass. Hold on. My ball. What's my ball, boy? Hey, Emma. Hey, I was coming. Oh. Good swim. Slim went and got it. It looked pretty. I smell a teddy.
Joe catches the ball from the 10, throws to the end zone. Boyd goes to the ground.
Yes.
He's got it. Touchdown.
Nice.
Bengals.
I said I smell a teddy. Yeah, I know. That ball coming out.
He takes the snap. He'll hand it off. Fournette fumbles the football. It bounces into the middle of a scrum at the 40-yard line.
Bengals say they have
Logan
it.
Wilson says they've got it. Vonn Bell says they've got it.
What you call right here? I might would have called it blue.
They fake it to Mixon. Burrow throws.
Baby.
Caught. Wilcox to the 5, to the goal line. In his hometown, Mitchell Wilcox scores a touchdown, and the Bengals put it away with 2:21 to go.
I said, ooh. Hey, JB, did I say, boo, show your. How you doing, brother? You all right? Good to see you. Good to see you, brother, yeah.
The final score, Cincinnati 34, Tampa Bay 23.
DJ Reader and his teammates were better together in the win over the Bucs. Mounting a second-half comeback in Tampa, DJ Reader and the defense dialed up the pressure.
Brady looking to throw. He's in
Nice.
trouble. Wilson's got him.
Nice.
The ball comes out, and the Bengals grab
They got
it
it.
at the 13-yard
They got
line.
it. Yes.
Logan Wilson got to Brady first, then DJ Reader stuck his left hand in there. I think Reader punched the ball out.
The Bucs entered Week 15 bottom 5 in the league with a -5 turnover margin. And the Bengals, well, they made sure that number increased. Reader's force inside on both fumbles was key in allowing the offense to score 17 points in the third quarter, as the Bengals recorded 4 total takeaways against the Bucs, the second time they forced that many this season. DJ Reader and his teammates are better together. Brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Culture in the Bengals locker room is as tight as they come. And coming up next, we'll sit down with one of the uncles of the group. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Uncle Mike, or maybe he's better known as Michael Thomas, has become a fixture in the Bengals locker room. The veteran may be the oldest player on the active roster, but as Thomas leans on his experience to help mentor the younger guys, he's never forgotten how he got his start.
My journey, year 11, I'm talking about undrafted. You know, your team had success at Stanford, you had this great college career, and then all of a sudden you're told you're not good enough. You get a little chip on your shoulder. And although I've been able to accomplish a lot of things and I guess proven myself right over the years, that little bit never leaves you.
Man, it's a blessing to be out here, you feel me? We gotta bring your beat. Energy from the jump, you feel me? Been dreaming about this, let's go.
That's kind of what we're all about. You know, everybody always appreciates the underdog, and guys have to fight their way up. When the unexpected happens, I think everybody gets a little bit of a shot in the arm, and especially when it's a guy like Mike who does all these other things too.
Keep battling. Gotta be the mindset, B. Let's go now, from the jump.
Once I actually got on the field and got my opportunity, and I proved that I was willing to outwork the next man, I was willing to outwork my opponents, and I started earning every single opportunity I got, I knew I was gonna have a chance to make it in this league. It was validated from Coach Lou that, you know, they appreciated the way I worked.
Ultimate pro, ultimate family man, the ultimate teammate, man. He is one terrific human being, and I know Mike now since 2012, and how we started our career together is memorable, to say the least. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I woke up to like 10 missed calls from my agent. Answer your phone right now or the team is gonna move on to the next guy. I get to Miami.
We had a role for him on special teams that day, so we knew he was gonna be active.
Then when the fourth quarter hits, we're winning the game.
It's Tom Brady and a 2-minute drill, and usually Tom wins those.
Next thing I know, the ball's coming straight at me. It's like a movie, slow motion. I pick it. I remember just laying on the ground. I was like, wait, did I just catch my first interception? No, wait, that was a game-winning interception. Wait, that was against Tom Brady. And I just started screaming, and my teammates jump up and down on me. It's cameras in my face. It was crazy. And that was my welcome to the NFL moment.
You gotta earn it, huh? Give me your best. Let's ride tonight. Let's go get this win, dog. They gotta deal with us, man. Win on 3.
As soon as he got here last year, he was kind of in the fold from a leadership standpoint right away. And a year later, here he is the captain, and the guys respect him so much.
Every time I get to a new team, I'm not thinking about, how can I become a leader? How can I become the guy that, everybody's looking up to? I'm just, going out there every single day to be myself. But to come back here this year and to get voted captain, the type of respect that you earn from your teammates, man, like to me, I put that above anything. So it was humbling.
The young guys flock to him, and just the way he goes about his everyday business, everything speaks to what a leader should be and how a leader should act and what a captain would be.
What's a cool, special kick? That was cool. Let me see. I can't kick.
I don't know how many more reps I got. I don't know how much more time I have in the locker room. And this is what you miss most when you remove yourself from this game. You miss those relationships. But I'm like, man, I'm gonna pour into them and try to teach them as much as I can. I'm Uncle Mike.
Great work, partner. You good, AJ? Can't make air play. Yeah, you can.
Every single day I go out there, I'm able to smile. I'm able to have fun and stuff, but I still want to go out there and prove myself right every single day.
The Bengals have teamed up with CareSource to make the next generation of youth the most active and healthy yet. Earlier this year, the team took a trip to Mount Washington Elementary as Bengals legend Jim Breach, Houday, and the Bengals showed students how they can be active for at least 60 minutes each day while encouraging them to practice healthy habits. Since the launch of the NFL Play 60 campaign, the NFL has committed more than $350 million to youth health and fitness. To learn more, visit Bengals.com/Play60. Coming up next, Dan, Dave, and Jeff tell us what they're asking Santa for this Christmas. And spoiler alert, it's 3 Bengals wishes. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the official bank of the Cincinnati Bengals, and your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Jolly old Saint Nick will be taking the sleigh out for a spin tonight. But before he does, Dan, Dave, and Jeff each have a Christmas wish they hope comes true. Let's check in with the guys.
Approximately 11 hours before Santa comes sliding down the chimney, the Bengals take on the Patriots on Christmas Eve in Foxborough. And in this Houday conversation, we are sharing 3 things on our Christmas list. Lap, you're up first.
Well, Dan, I want the football gods to dress up like Santa Claus and say, no more injuries for the Cincinnati Bengals. Put them all in bubble wrap. My grandfather told me, son, if you want strong bones, drink your milk. No more broken bones. No more broken bones whatsoever. And then soft tissue injuries are, that's the variable that you cannot control. The one thing you can control is play hard. That's the biggest injury prevention. And other than that, roll the dice. You are 100% susceptible to injury every single snap. That's just part of the deal. You can't control it. Coaches can't, players can't. You got to play through it. And that's where roster depth and guys expanding their roles becomes huge.
All right, we know he's been a good boy, so hopefully that wish comes true. How about you, Butch?
Horty, I'm looking for a sleigh full of turnovers. Bengals had 4 of them, 4 straight last week in Tampa. The next 3 teams they play characteristically take care of the ball. New England and Baltimore. Patriots are coming off the biggest turnover since they turned over King George in New England history. The great Dave Lapham says a 4-down stop is a turnover. That gave them 5. First time in 10 years. Keep them coming, Santa baby.
All right, dear Santa, my wish for the Bengals is to be the #1 playoff seed in the AFC. Now, about a month ago, that felt like it would have taken a Christmas miracle, but not anymore. With their 6-game winning streak, the Bengals are only 1 game behind Buffalo and Kansas City. They've already beaten the Chiefs. They host the Bills next week. If the Bengals win out and Kansas City loses 1 game, the Bengals would get a first-round bye and home field advantage through the AFC Championship. They've been the #1 seed twice in franchise history. They have gone to the Super Bowl both times. That's what's on our wish list. If those things come true, it'll be a very Merry Christmas and a Houday New Year.
Ho, ho, ho.
There are 3 weeks left in the regular season as the Bengals are aiming for that 1 seed in the AFC. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero now joins Dan Hoard to give his take on what the Bengals need to do down the stretch.
You see him on the NFL Network at all hours of the day, and it is great to visit with NFL insider Tom Pelissero. Tom, the Bengals are on a roll. They've won 6 straight. They've climbed into sole possession of first place in the AFC North. What stands out to you when you watch the Bengals right now?
Well, I think it's just the fact that once again, this team is improving as the season goes on. They went through that patch there where they're a little bit beat up, but now that you're getting a lot healthier here and you've got Joe Mixon back after he missed time with the concussion, you got Chase back, and that defense just continues to play better and better. That might be the biggest thing. And one of the big names, Trey Hendrickson, being out right now, the fact that they continue to find ways, they're so good in terms of halftime adjustments. Lou Anarumo deserves a ton of credit for what he's doing with that unit right now. They just look very dangerous right now in all 3 phases.
What was your reaction when they started 0-2 and had trouble protecting Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow's too good, for one thing. Let's start there. Joe Burrow's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's an MVP candidate. You know that he's going to find a way to kind of right the ship, and he should only be getting better here for years to come. So, just the fact that they've kind of, found their identity. I think that anytime that you don't play and anytime that you don't get those reps, you kind of use those first couple games as the preseason. So the Bengals did that. They got out of that stretch, and they look as dangerous as anybody right now.
It's the Bengals and Patriots. Saturday, Christmas Eve, the Bengals trying to stay on the hunt for the #1 playoff seed in the AFC. What are a couple of keys to the matchup this Saturday in Foxborough?
You're just going to need to let your best players be the best players. Bill Belichick always, in every game plan, it always starts with, how do we keep their best player from being the one who beats us? Luckily for the Bengals, they've got so many different playmakers, not just Jamar Chase, but T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, but Joe Mixon. There's a lot of different things that they can do. So it's going to be one of those games where you use the cliche, take what the defense gives you. I would anticipate, between Zach and Brian Callahan, they're going to be looking at this. How are the Bengals going to play us? I would think they're going to play to not let Jamar Chase beat you. Maybe it's a big Joe Mixon day. We'll see how it plays out coming up this weekend.
Tom, I know your schedule is crazy. I really appreciate you doing this. Happy holidays, and thanks for the time.
You got it. Thank you.
The Bengals' fairly tough defense came up big in the second half in Tampa. And coming up next, I'll tell you just how good the Bengals have been in the third and fourth quarters. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Altifiber, proud to be the official internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Betfred, the official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Join Dan Horde and Dave Lapham Wednesday nights for the Bengals Game Plan radio show live, presented by Bud Light. Visit Bengals.com/gameplan for a list of locations each week. The weather outside may be frightful, but this team sure has been delightful to watch. The Bengals have been firing on all cylinders and continue to find ways to win, as Joe Burrow is making his claim for league MVP. And I'm not sure if even the icy conditions can cool off Burrow, because it seems like Joe Burr is just heating up. With his 4 passing touchdowns last week, Burrow hit 78 for his career, becoming the first player in NFL history to record 75 passing and 10 rushing touchdowns in their first 40 games. Burrow has thrown at least 1 touchdown in each of the last 21 regular season games, which is the longest active streak in the NFL, and is tied with Jeff Blake for the longest streak in Bengals history. And Santa Joe has had a lot of helpers on the offensive side of the ball. The Bengals are the only team in the league with 6 players who each have over 600 scrimmage yards. And last week, Chase, Higgins, and Boyd all found the end zone, marking the first time the Big Three has each scored a touchdown in the same game. Well, with Burrow under center, the Bengals have won 12 of their last 16 games on the road, including the playoffs. And in those outings, Burrow has compiled 35 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, and a passer rating over 100. Cincinnati has won its last 3 road games, as this weekend in Foxborough is the final road trip of the regular season. Now, Bates and Bell have been as steady as they come for the secondary. This season, the duo have been ball hawks. The pair's combined 7 interceptions is tied for the most in the league among a safety tandem. And dating back to week 15 of last season, Bell's 5 interceptions is the 3rd most in the league over that 16 regular game span. And on the defensive line, well, no pair of teammates have been better than BJ Hill and DJ Reader on the interior. Since week 12, Hill and Reader have both graded out in the top 5 among D tackles per Pro Football Focus. And during this 4-week stretch, Reader's 4 batted down passes is the most by any defensive lineman in the league. Contepelli's Countdown is presented by Betfred. And don't forget to play Ultimate Bengals on the Bengals app for your chance to win amazing prizes, including tickets to Bengals home games. Don't forget to check out Bengals Picks presented by Ohio Lottery, now in the Bengals app for your chance to win prizes throughout the season. 18 and over. Terms and conditions may apply. It's now time for this week's Kettering Health Fantasy Report. For the 7th time this season, Joe Burrow put up more than 20 fantasy points, as his 24.8 against Tampa Bay was the highest for the week by a Bengal. Burrow enters Week 16 as the 4th-ranked fantasy quarterback on the season. Meanwhile, Jamar Chase's 19 points against the Bucs continued his streak of scoring double-digit fantasy points in every game he has played this season. As for the Patriots, New England brings in the top-ranked fantasy defense, as the Pats have recorded multiple sacks and have forced a turnover in every game this season, except for 2. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff between the Bengals and the Patriots is coming up. For Dan Horde, Dave Lapham, Jeff Hobson, and our entire crew, I'm Marissa Contepelli. Have a happy holidays. Bengals Weekly was brought to you by AltaFiber, proud to be the official internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.